Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Captain Chandler with your police department, and I'm here with our wonderful city manager, Kenny Martin, for a Live with Kenny update about all the good stuff happening within our community. This is a great update just to hear about, what's occurring in the community, what future businesses we have coming on board, any future development. But today we're going to talk about the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, the Lights of Joy, Mount Juliet Holiday Lights Contest, the parade, and some new businesses that are coming on board. So, Kenny, good to see you. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
I did. I did. We did the catering locally through Houston's. Had all the pre-ordered the food, and I went and picked it up, and it was fabulous. And we didn't have to cook, and we ate on that food for about 3 days. So it was wonderful. How about yourself?
Hey, all was the same. Enjoyed some local food too, and Mom and I, we just had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Of course, with the COVID stuff, you have to keep it a little bit smaller than usual. So we just kept it as small as we could. But
we did the same thing. And I know it's been a tough year, you know what, but I know there's better times ahead, and we're going to get past this mess.
Absolutely. So let's just jump right into it. We have some folks joining here, and thank you for the 92 of you who are here watching this broadcast. Feel free to leave a comment, give a shout out, share the broadcast so we can get more engagement with this. But we appreciate you joining, getting the updates. And I'm sure some of you will probably watch this after the fact, which is okay too, if you couldn't join us while live. But we have a pretty cool Christmas tree lighting ceremony event coming up this weekend. Kenny, I know in years past, long ago, we used to have a Christmas tree lighting ceremony for the city, and then I guess the tree was cut down.
Yeah.
I guess it was development or something, but we lost the tree, and it just didn't happen again. And then now we have this huge tree at the town center that I saw the other day, and then another small tree. But what about this event that's coming up?
Yeah, let me tell a funny story about that. You're spot on. You're spot on with your memory. Progress overcame the tree. The tree used to be out here by the general store, and it was a good sized tree. It was a beautiful tree. But when they widened the road, unfortunately, it was in the way, and so they took it out during the right-of-way process. And we've had a little smaller tree out there that the staff puts out there, and along with some other decorations. But this year, Pastor Workman with Shiloh Baptist Church had reached out, and they had this passion for wanting to do an official tree lighting ceremony, and we appreciate that. As a matter of fact, we love it because they have worked so hard. And the reason there's 2 trees there is, and I've actually talked to our Mayor Manis, about a permanent tree there. But for what happened was, the reason there's a smaller tree is the group at Shiloh Baptist Church, when they built that beautiful box, that box at the bottom is a masterpiece.
It is.
Joy and peace and all that on it. Well, it wasn't quite big enough for the big tree that Mr. Needham and Tom Needham and his family and Needham's Nursery are so generous as always to donate the tree. But when they got there with the big tree and they saw this smaller box, they realized it wouldn't contain and be able to secure that larger tree. So the blessing is we got 2 trees, so we can't thank Needham's enough for doing that for us. But Pastor Workman and his team have worked so hard with so much passion. We'd like it to be a bigger ceremony, but we understand with the COVID and the pandemic, we got to be safe. So at the very least, if we don't have a huge turnout, that's okay, because so many people are going to get to enjoy this tree and the lights. And so if anybody can come, we encourage you to bring a decoration. If you can't come, we totally understand. People be able to enjoy it just by driving by it.
Yeah, I was asking, why is there 2 trees? And then there was actually a great idea. You have that larger one that's going to be lit up as the larger tree, but that smaller tree is going to be one that community members can bring an ornament, I guess, and place a family ornament on that tree that kind of decorate together and to show unity as a community. So it's going to be a great event. I guess it starts kind of at 4:00, but the ceremony begins at 5. Also during the ceremony, we'll announce the winners of our holiday lights contest. We're going to reach out to them sometime this evening because our judging is coming in. As I speak right now to you, got another email from a judge with what they selected for the award winners. So be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. Are you going to be there too?
Yeah, and I'm excited. That's also at the same location as the tree lighting, I think you said, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep, yeah, I'll be right there. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I want to give you a shout out as well, Captain, because I know that when we first started this idea about just encouraging a handful of business, we were trying. The original goal was, and you may have already been working on this, but I know that you took the ball and ran with it. we were talking about just trying to get as many businesses as possible along Mount Jet Road to decorate.
Sure.
And you had this better idea to say, okay, let me get the vision out there. Well, thankfully, all these homeowners jumped on board as well, because we wanted that in addition too.
Sure.
And I can't thank them enough, because if there was ever a year that was a good for you to decorate, it's this year. We need it. We need it for our spirits. We need it to celebrate Christmas, and because we got so many other blessings to be thankful for. But it'll also allow these moms and dads to get out in the cars and drive through these subdivisions in a safe way and get in Christmas spirit, you know. And then the exciting thing is too, that these winners, and they're all winners in my mind, but the best of the best will get awards. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And I was, as a kid, I just remember my favorite thing to do was go around with the family and look at the Christmas lights, and we did that every year. But part of that is you just kind of had to guess where you think the lights would be. But
Right.
it truly taken that guessing game out of it and encouraged our residents to light up their homes. People can go to the city website at mountjuliet-tn.gov to view that map. It shows all 113 participants, but then it was knocked down to about 54 finalists. And then after that, it'll be knocked down to 6 award winners, but everyone would be posted on the map. Those who are finalists have a different icon color on the map than those that are true winners will have the gold icon color that will get posted soon as well. But you can take that guessing game out, and you can plan out your night to go view lights, socially distant, safe, and then go enjoy a local restaurant, socially distant and safe, and make it a great little activity. And hopefully we can continue this every year from here on out, just to encourage the Christmas spirit, because there are some very beautiful homes. I mean, check this one out.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
This one is down in a Charleston place down in Providence. And I guess their theme is God Bless the Troops. And they truly hit that theme, all red, white, and blue, and just beautiful. And there's another theme next to it. It's like a Dixieland or Doxyland Christmas for the Dachshund dogs to the left of that. But then you see this home that is in one of our neighborhoods where they went all out with lights. And then these two homes down on Bench Lane that went all out. And when I say all out, this is just a selection. This is one of our older homes in the community, historic homes on East Main Street, but very beautifully done. And when I say all out, is all those finalists are likely all like this, all out, just beautiful. I call it a production.
Yeah.
On how cool it is. So really, if you can't view all 113 homes, at least go to the 54 finalists, because you'll definitely enjoy what you see, because there's a lot of beautiful homes out there. So it'll be fantastic.
Captain, that brings to memory, or brings to mind, you and I have been on some of these walks, the BPAC walks, and there's a particular home in Willoughby Station that we always go by, and we finally coaxed the owner of the home out, and he's done a fabulous job for many, many, many years.
Absolutely.
We got him out to sort of love on him and tell him how much we appreciate all of his work. It is a lot of work. I mean, it is amazing. And he said, well, his last name is Noel. And he said, well, with a name like Noel is your last name, you don't really have any choice but to decorate for Christmas. But it is literally, he talks about how many days ahead of time and how many days afterwards it takes to take everything down. And I just can't thank folks enough. I mean, I try to do a little decorating, but mine is just awful compared to what these folks do. It's shameful in a way, what I do compared to what they do. So really appreciate folks that do this. And I know the kids really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome. It's very cool to see. And speaking of Mr. Noel, I believe his home I think it's 1000 something Port Stewart Court. He is one of the finalists. So he's in Willoughby Station. And if you live near there and you want to go look at lights, check out the map of the participants and go check out Port Stewart Court, because he has a beautiful setup there. And more on the Christmas lines, we have Hometown Heroes Christmas Parade coming up on Saturday, December the 12th at 11 a.m. Any comments on that, Kenny?
Yeah, we may not get the turnout we've had in years past, and that's okay. And we're encouraging everybody that we've talked to about the parade, everybody that signed up for the parade, we've encouraged them to make sure we're going to do everything we can to make sure everybody's practicing the CDC protocols and the best that they can. But it's outside. It'll be a shorter course this year and probably fewer participants. But you know what? We need a good Christmas this year, and our folks are really in some really good Christmas spirits right now. So we will keep those spirits high going into 2021, which we know will be a better year.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks just know that this route is from Lebanon Road Ball Fields down to Mount Juliet Road, which goes down to Division. And the parade will end on Division at the train depot and also the Chamber of Commerce parking lots. And just know around 11 o'clock, those roadways will be tied up for a little bit. It should all be cleared by about 12:15, 12:30. And again, for those that participate and for those that are watching, just do your best to stay socially distant and wear the mask when you can't be distant. And we look forward to it. Our honor guard is planning to lead it again this year. Our former police officer spent many years with the city, over 30, is Zach Atwood. He is the Grand Marshal, but he is representing all hometown heroes, from police officers to our teachers, nurses, firefighters, the frontline folks there out in the grocery stores that can't get a day off or stay distant. Everyone out there just pushing our community and nation through COVID. That's what we're trying to honor here with the Hometown Heroes Parade.
Yeah, there'll be some awards, of course, float awards and things like that, and so it's really going to be a nice parade. So we need it, that's for sure.
Absolutely. I just want to give a shout out to the Senior Center. They have their indoor yard sale Christmas shop coming up Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the Senior Center. A lot of good stuff. This is a great fundraiser for the Senior Center. So if you want to go check it out this Saturday, stop by the Senior Center, 8 a.m. to 1 for their indoor yard sale.
Hey, I've been there many times, and they've got some good stuff. There's some good craftsmen there.
Yeah, for sure. It's they're looking forward to it. I serve on the Senior Citizen Board, and they've been talking about it and really just hoping to get more participation with that with their sales, because with COVID, the Senior Center has kind of had to be closed, and so people aren't paying the dues like they normally pay because they can't go and participate in anything, which is understandable. But dues can't be paid. That results in less funding for them. So that's why they're hoping folks support their different fundraisers that they're putting on, because it truly goes back to our seniors, and our seniors in our community need a place to go and have that support system there for them. So either they're not lonely, they have a place to get food, which they provide meals every day for the seniors in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Organization. All right, moving on to new businesses. I know you had a list of new businesses coming on board, some cool coffee shops, maybe a pizzeria, and some auto part stores on the south side, which is much needed. So what we have in mind?
Absolutely, and any new business is good. Of course, with Providence Central on the horizon, which is a bigger development over in the Providence area, folks will start noticing real soon that they're doing some clearing, and you'll see a lot more of it as we move into even into winter, as the ground hardens up a little bit, and even into the spring. That's going to be a great development, a great asset to our community. And then you've got Legacy Point up at Golden Bear. I can tell folks there's a couple of convenience stations, really nice high-end convenience stations going in along Golden Bear, which are much needed. A lot of roadway improvements. Of course, the Greenway addition. We'll soon have right across from the Amazon facility a trailhead, which will include a restroom facility there. And if you've never had a chance, or if you get out that way, or if you're a biker, there's actually a pretty good walkway system in place and being extended as we speak. And that'll eventually connect all the way down to the Jackson Hills Greenway as well. So you'll be able to walk pretty much anywhere you want to in Mount Juliet safely. But we'll also have these other trailheads and with restroom facilities. So that's going to be really nice in a parking lot, of course.
Awesome.
I'm very, very excited about that. But many of the new business coming, for example, there's a couple of new day schools coming, and one is coming in Jackson Hills. Right there at the entrance, there's also a convenience market, neighborhood friendly. It won't be your typical convenience market with 8 to 15 pumps out front. It'll have about probably 2 to 4 pumps. It'll be a beautiful facility. That'll be going in out there as well. So if you travel Golden Bear Parkway and you are Gateway, and you've never always said, "Hey, I wish I'd get gas," that's coming to be 2 different locations along that route, and also some additional traffic signals to make ingress and travel in that area a little bit better as well, and your egress. So excited about that. O'Reilly Auto Parts will be going into the building a new facility down beside Tractor Supply at the old car wash location. Glad to see that old car wash go.
Clean that area up.
Yes, Napa Store is looking at moving a new location in the Valley Center, which is right here in the heart of Mount Juliet. And then we'll have an Advanced Auto Parts moving into the old Pier 1 location. And folks have been asking and asking for years. So I know that probably didn't get folks too wild about shopping locations. But if you need car parts or some of the things you like buying at the auto parts stores, you have one right there in the Providence area. And what's good about that is that building's about 10,000 square feet, and they're taking 7,000 of it. And so what it does, it affords us that other 3,000 to locate a whole nother business. So in reality, even though you had a loss of a business, you have a net gain of one by replacing, the Pier 1 with the Advance, and then you get another business. It provides a storefront for us, which we're excited about it. Then you got the New York Pizzeria going into the Province area. And you and I were talking earlier about, boy, I tell you, if you can't find your liking of pizza in Mount Juliet, then you're not looking, because
That's
we've
it.
got lots and lots of pizza places. And you know what? To each his own. And lots of folks like different kinds of pizza, and I like it all.
I do
So I
too.
like to sort of make the horn and
That's what I
visit
do.
them all. So I'm excited about that.
What I like about it too, it's all different. It all has its own different taste and style, and it's not like you're eating pizza all the time, because it just is different taste at each different place.
That's exactly right. I'd had a sandwich one day and somebody catered it. And I said, "Where in the world's this sandwich from? This is awfully good." And they said, "It's from the Humble Hoagie." And I'd never had an opportunity to patronize that business, but folks are finally discovering it. Thank goodness. They're
Right.
great food. My wife, for example, had lunch there, not there, but had, lunch from there
Sure.
yesterday. And you and I were talking also earlier about Just Love Cafe, which is going in when I say the Exxon, a lot of folks think that it's actually in the Exxon market, which is across the street from Jason's Deli and that business center there. It's actually not. It's a separate building. It's in one big building, but it's separate from the gas station. So it's not like your cafe you think of that would be in a gas station. I'm hearing lots of good reviews about that as well. So if you get a chance, patronize those folks. These are our small mom and pop type shops in our community, and they're the ones that's there for us. They're the ones that support all the ball teams and things of that nature. And anytime you need something in this community, those are the ones that are going to step up and help. And so especially during these tough times, just continue to support those local businesses. We're blessed in this particular environment with the pandemic and the economy in the shape it's in with unemployment and all, to have a lot of great businesses like Slotsky's Deli. They're not able to be open every day with normal hours simply because they just can't find the people.
Sure.
And I hate that for them, because it's a wonderful business. And if you've had their food. So right now during these tough times, please patronize your local businesses first. If you're hungry and you're needing something or needing groceries or gas or whatever, or insurance services, or you name it, you haven't been shopping in Mount Juliet, there's really not a whole lot of reasons to shop outside of Mount Juliet now if you live in this community. I'm finding more and more people that are changing doctors and things of that nature, because it's more convenient for them to go right here. There's lots of good services right here in your own community. So,
Absolutely.
and these smaller businesses sometimes, what we refer to as fillers, they take those smaller spots, they create a synergy, and what ends up happening, these bigger businesses, like the Costco's of the world and things of that nature, as our population grows, so does the opportunity to get the organic grocery store. That's not saying our current grocery stores aren't great, but it's yet another business that we want, that our citizens want. And I can tell you this, our elected body, our staff, and myself are working tirelessly daily trying to promote Mount Juliet to a level to where you've done through the police department, or fire department's doing, or City Beautiful's doing, our elected body, or staff, or citizens. Mount Juliet's well thought of, not only in this state, but beyond. There's people moving here daily. We had 70 single family residential building permits pulled this month. Now just think about that. I can remember the days where if you had 10 or 12, it was a lot. 70. So that means that's each month on average, you're having probably 50. So what that means is 50 to 70 new people a month are moving in just into the city limits of new houses. That doesn't count existing houses, maybe where somebody's moved out and somebody's moved in. So the bigger our population gets, the more apt we are to get a Costco, or the more likely or an organic grocery store. So keep up the good work with supporting your business, because that's the thing they pay the most attention to.
Yeah, hey, I agree with you, Kenny, and like how you mentioned the services too, whether it's a realtor or something related to your insurance services. Most stuff that you need is all here, but their care and compassion about community is so much greater for our community than if you go outside of our city. And that's what I like, is because the people we patronize have just a big heart for the community and where they live. And it's nice to be able to support them too.
That's exactly right. Well said, my friend. And we're blessed. So I guess but there's a lot of new businesses. I mean,
Sure.
you got New Tribe Church is going to be moving to a new location, which we're so excited for them, because I remember working with the pastor early on trying to find them a location. I
Right.
can thank our elected body because the way our ordinance was set up, because beer was served in that facility, beer and alcohol at the Mexican restaurant there, they couldn't go in there. And
Right.
so locally, we worked with the Mexican restaurant, the other businesses, the owner of that center, our elected body, and we got them in there. And to show you this has been a blessing is they've done so well there that they're now moving to a much larger space. So
Mhm.
really happy for them and the church family there and the pastor. Sephora, they're doing a freestanding store over in the Providence area, moving outside of JCPenney. They may stay in JCPenney. That's yet to be determined. Thai Samurai, which is close to where, I'm sorry here.
That was where the old NYPD pizza
That's
was.
right. That's exactly right. And Sephora is in the old Lifeway Christian bookstore location. So, but the New Tribe Church is going in. If folks remember the Pump It Up location, they're taking that entire space. I can tell you that was a huge space. So, really
Sure.
happy for them.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, that's an awesome update. And let's just try to get into some questions here. You may know this, Kenny. I don't know this question, but it's, does anyone know what's being built at Golden Bear Cur just south of Lebanon Road? It's kind of across the street from Tuscan Gardens. Looks like there's some tree clearing. Do you know what
Yeah, I
that?
think that's additional. I believe that's some additional homes. It's on the old section, I believe, of Curd Road, right there at the
Yes, on
stop
the
sign.
north end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's some additional new houses.
Okay. So, John, there you go.
Yeah, single family houses. It's not apartments or townhomes or anything like that.
Sure. I know we had that question earlier in my police update, and I said, well, if anyone knows, it'll be our city manager. So that's great. There are some questions here about the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, if it'll be broadcasted. I'll speak with our IT director and see if that's something they're interested in trying to do. Since we need to be socially distant, maybe we can get it broadcasted there. So there's another question about one that broadcasted live from Georgina Foote. So we'll see what we can do. It should be pretty easy. If we can do these live updates from our offices, hopefully we can get a live video going of the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. And then just any update here on the Central Pike interchange. Could be sooner if Providence Central was approved. Any word on that front?
Yeah, it's. I'll say this: it is definitely moving faster. Providence Central, and I'm appreciative of our elected body approving that. That's going to be a wonderful development. I know a lot of folks were worried about what kind of type of development that'd be. It's going to be a great addition because one of the first things they've got to do is about $7 to $8 million worth of road improvements. I believe that's a pretty close number, and that'll be road improvements on the front end that will help traffic issues that we've got today in that area. I can tell folks that I'm talking to the state all the time, and also businesses. And we just missed here recently the opportunity. They end up going to another city, and the reason is had that development, Providence Central, already had the roadway infrastructure in place, I feel like we'd still be in the running. But unfortunately, they're going to go to Rutherford County in Murfreesboro, and it was a medical office building, very beautiful building, large scale building. When Providence Central comes on board and Legacy Point, what ends up happening is that all it takes is, had that building came to Mount Juliet, and I'm not that worried that this one didn't because I know there's more to come. That's what the state takes notice of. And if you get the right corporate headquarters that decides to move to that location at Providence Central, and I think now that infrastructure is fixing to start, that is what the state takes notice of and says, you know what, maybe we need to expedite this process. So it has sped up the process, and I think there'll be some good news on the horizon coming in the future. I just found out the news yesterday that we'd missed out on this one. So just imagine, and they actually gave us feedback and said if those roads were already in there, think of a subdivision that you can pull up to the, like say off of West Division, and you can see all the woods back in there, but you can't get a vision for what it's like of where your house would be because you can't get in there.
Right.
That's the way it was in this situation. They just couldn't see the vision of being able to drive back into the development and say, okay, our building's going to be right here, and there's the interstate. And so luckily, this development have that infrastructure on the front end. So good times are coming on that. I know that doesn't help a lot. There's a lot of talk in there, but I'm feeling really good about the Central Pike interchange getting sped up.
Yeah, like you said earlier, a lot of people notice Mount Juliet, and a lot of people want to come here. It's just a matter of finding where they're going to come.
Yeah, and you haven't seen anything yet with all that's going on in the country. And folks moved into Nashville and Middle Tennessee in general, and our proximity to Nashville, it makes all the sense in the world.
Gotcha. Question here on the Amazon: are they on schedule for completion like they should be?
They're actually, that's a great question. They're actually ahead of schedule, and a lot of that's been as a result of the city allowing them to work after hours, and they've had a good relationship with the neighbors. We'll make sure that we're not disturbing some neighbors that are Not real close by, but close enough that if they're bothered, we try to make arrangements. Cap, you've been a part of that as well.
Sure.
But if they're actually ahead of schedule, a lot of folks a couple of weekends ago got to go over there and watch them while they use the helicopter to lift the big air conditioning units on the roof. And very excited about that development. They're most appreciative, and the developers most appreciative. So yeah, it's actually ahead of schedule.
Okay, cool. We're awesome. Well, if you want to close it out, we'll go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, just want to thank everybody again. We wanted to try to do something abbreviated today because everybody's super busy, and sometimes these things are hard to tune in on in the middle of the day, especially at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But we're continuing to pray for our community. We've lost some folks in our community recently to COVID. A fine gentleman just this week, as a matter of fact. We're all hearing more and more of those stories. We've come too far at this point to sort of let our guard down. Everybody just continue to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. It's a vicious pandemic. It's a vicious COVID-19. We've never seen anything like it. And I know everybody's doing well, but, this thing is, it's slick, and it's learning ways to work through the processes, even the ones we put up in place. So we just got to continue to be diligent, continue to keep our spirits up, work with one another, and stay united. And I just can't thank our community enough, because every day that I wake up, I try to remind myself of just how blessed we are to live in a community like Mount Juliet. And that's not because of something I do or even the City Hall staff. That's got to do with the fact that we've been blessed with a lot of good people moving in our community that share the same values that we do. And that's to make Mount Juliet better today than it was yesterday. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Merry Christmas, just in case we don't talk again before Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. And if you need anything, please call on us at any time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope everyone will enjoy the Christmas tree lighting ceremony this weekend. If you can't, we'll hopefully have it live broadcasted for you. And then the Lights of Joy, Mountain Juliet Holiday Lights Contest. Go to the city website, go out and view all the wonderful decorations that are out there. Over 113 participants, 54 are on the finalist list, which will lead to 6 award winners. And like always, folks, thank you for joining this. It's always a pleasure to be able to interact with our community, and a pleasure to join our city manager in these live broadcasts. And we are here for you. And if there's anything you ever need, you know who to call, and we're always here to help. Thank you. Be safe, and have a Merry Christmas if we don't see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.